Okay, now here we have something that I am truly excited about, something I've been waiting on for I don't know how long, that is showing us a live action damage counter. What's up, YouTube? It's Dragon here, and I figured I'd take a break from the grind and the streams and discuss a little bit of news that we got from Plarium today. Seems they dropped a little bit of a gift in our lap, as well as a new partnership and some other things. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into that. First thing first, let's start out with the holiday news. Little present, little gift under our tree. We got a legendary skill tome, 3 ancient shards, an XP banner, and 250 energy in our inbox today. Not bad. Definitely something to put a little smile on your face, especially how rare it is to come across legendary skill tomes. But in my evaluation, it's just okay. It's an okay little treat. Nothing too spectacular. I usually value the Lego books at like $7, 3 shards, that's $3, a banner and 250 energy. You're talking about like $13. In my book, $10 is like a drop of water in the bucket. So I mean it's okay, but I really hope that there's more presents to be given out by Plarium these holiday seasons. I think we deserve it. The player base deserves it. So, anyways, not bad. Definitely happy to see it, but nothing to write home about. All right, now let's go ahead and get into the big news, the partnership with Amazon Prime. All right, so what we more or less got here is they have a synergy kind of partnership here where as long as you have Amazon Prime, there's some daily it's like daily login rewards that span over a period. Um, More or less, all you have to do is like link in your account and log in at least one day throughout the gifting periods, and you'll receive the gifts. It's one reward every 2 weeks, and it covers almost about 4 months. So how you link your account is you go over to get Prime. There's free Prime. There's trial period Prime. There's many different ways, but more or less, what you need to do is you can either subscribe, and the prices are $12.99 for full-fledged subscriptions. They got $6.49 a month for students. In case you guys didn't know that. There's also 99-cent trials and free trials. If you've never gotten Amazon Prime before, you can go and just sign up for a free trial. The ads are everywhere. I've also seen people get the 99 cent for the free month trial, and or if you just kind of want to get the first month's reward, or honestly, Amazon Prime's a good subscription. So whether you're streaming videos or ordering online, shopping online, things like that, it's good. So to me, it's definitely worth picking up. And for those that I didn't really realize this until I started to do a little bit of research, but if you're a person in the poverty line, which it's hard to play raid if you're free to play, but if you're in the poverty line or you've got some medical issues, if you have the EBT, SNAP, food stamps, whatever, or Medicaid, if you're a card holder, you can get Prime for $5.99 a month. That's like literally their lowest consistent subscription. Didn't know that until I did my research, but it's pretty interesting. Now, how to actually link your account to Prime? You go over here to your little side toolbar, and underneath news is Amazon Prime Champions Loot and more. Now this only pops up for, as far as my knowledge, recording this video, it only pops up on mobile and emulators, just pretty much anything except for their Polarium app. I'm sure they probably have to do a little bit of extra stuff to link that. Maybe they should have waited a day, but either way, I was happy. I got Ultimate Galect today, which is one of the rewards. We'll go ahead and go into the rewards here. As I said before, I already got the Ultimate Galek. He was today's reward, starting today and ending the 29th. And then our next reward is a little bit of silver and energy. It's not bad. Again, just one of those things to kind of help you grind throughout the day. And we got a couple heroes, some books and potions, shards, chickens. A good little assortment, some gear and banners. As far as I'm concerned, like really the best gifts are the heroes. I will go in deeper into those in just a minute. The epic tomes, I value those myself at $3 a piece. Some value them more. The shop values them at 10. So like the books by themselves, are pretty much worth at least 1 month subscription. The heroes are worth the monthly subscription. And the shards are nice, but really 5 ancients and 3 voids, not even together. It's kind of not worth it. Rank 4 chickens, those are okay if you're early game. Super pots are okay, I guess. And then we've got the 6-star legendary attack gear artifacts. Those I feel, are going to be definitely, they have a chance. It's a gamble. It's RNG based, but it has a chance to really get some good pieces out of there. So I'm kind of excited to get to that reward myself. Other than that, it's just kind of a thing that every 2 weeks a new reward's available. So, you link your Amazon Prime and, it's kind of like a login thing. Alright, now let's go ahead and go over the heroes. Okay, here we have Galante. He is a epic version of Galante from the orcs, of course. Magic affinity, everything's, about the same. And honestly, he's a pretty interesting hero. Galante has always been kind of the meme of the community, so they actually went and put out a decent version of him. His A1, I'm sure you can read it there, but it's a pretty speedy attack. It kind of goes along with, keeping him fast, keeping his skills rotating, stuff like that. And it has a 50% chance of placing HP burn as long as he's under an increased attack buff, which he will get, we'll get to that later on in his kit. And it fills his turn meter by 10%, 5% if he's not under attack buff. His A2 is a single hit, single target with a 50% chance placing the HP burn as well, as long as he's also under an increased attack buff. And here's where you get the increased attack buff. On top of that, his A2 decreases the turn meter by 25%, and it places an increased attack buff on himself for 2 turns, as well as decrease the turn meter by 10% if this attack isn't critical. So he has to crit, like on his A2 to decrease the turn meter and place the attack buff. He has to crit, and if he don't crit, then it decreases the target's turn meter by 10. But we're gonna keep him in an attack buff. So, and I'll show you kind of how the rotation of that would go along. His A3 is an AOE that hits 2 times, which is pretty good because he's an attack-based hero. He's going to be a DPS, and it has a 50% chance of placing an AOE HP burn, which is super great for a lot of areas: arena, spider, campaign. If you're struggling through campaign, because even new players can get ultimate Galante. It is 4 turns when it's booked, so it's not like super consistent, but it is a good ability, and it's one of those things that in a certain comp it can be utilized to its most effect. As far as his passive goes, it's pretty interesting. It fully heals himself and removes stun anytime an enemy places a stun on him. But be wary though, because it is under a cooldown down to 3 turns, so it won't be something that you can consistently rely on to cleanse the stuns from arena and dungeon and stuff like that. But booked, it is down to 3 turns, so technically he could be used as stun bait in the clan boss. Depending on your team, maybe that might interest you. You like a cleanser. He does have HP burn and he's attack based, so got to see what his mods are like. Maybe he can hit hard, maybe he can do some respectable damage. We'll have to see. As far as his general rotation of his skills go, you would kind of want to start off, and I'm sure the AI does too, you want to start off building with crit and uses A2. It will place the first time you do it, it won't place the HP burn, which is single target, but if you crit, he will decrease the turn meter and put attack buff on himself. You'll go to his A3 to use that big, 2-hit AoE, and then since you're already under attack buff from his A2, he has a good chance of placing the AoE burn. Very effective. That's something I will be using in Spider. And then you'll probably come through and use his A1, which also places an HP burn if he's under an increased attack buff. So and increases the turn meter. So his whole kit really synergizes well together. It's pretty effective. I haven't exactly tested it out yet. As far as his base stats go, he's got mediocre HP, pretty decent attack, nothing great, kind of low on the defense end, and his speed's reasonable. He also gets the 10% additional crit damage for 6-star Ascension, so kind of a basic attack champion kind of loadout. Alright, now let's go over to the next Amazon Prime hero. The next one we have is Whisper. And she, to me, she kind of really piques my interest. I was really happy to get Ultimate Galante because I don't have an AoE HP burn, but Whisper really piques my interest out of all three of the heroes. Her A1 is a single target, single hit with a 75%, up to 75% chance of placing the big version of Weaken. So since it's on her A1, she's going to have a good consistency on keeping that up, which synergizes with the rest of her kit, as you'll see. Her A2 is a single target, single hit, places an increased attack buff on herself before attacking if the target has a higher HP, max HP, and then it will ignore defense. I'm not sure how much. I'm thinking probably 50% defense. I doubt it's 100 if the target's under a weakened debuff, which she has consistently up with her A1. And then her A3 is a 2-hit single target that will grant an extra turn if the target's under decreased defense and weakened debuff. It's going to require a little synergy from your team. You need to make sure you have someone that has a decreased defense. But I believe she is dungeon. She's going to be a great dungeon hero, and a lot of people tend to bring defense down on dungeon runs. So that shouldn't be too hard to come up with. And her her passive is a 10% chance of granting an extra turn whenever this champion lands critical hit. So you're going to want to make sure you build her in crit, and increases the damage inflicted on bosses by 20%, which also can be effective versus clan boss. Again, got to test her mods and make sure you have a team, team comp that synergizes well with her. She can bring the weekend, someone else brings the defense down. You can avoid like rosin maybe or something like that and be pretty effective. And to kind of showcase that she is a dungeon hero, she has a increased ally attack in dungeons by 29%, which is a strong attack aura. Definitely not bad if you're trying to increase your speed runs or something like that. As far as her stats go, she's got okay HP, still kind of mediocre. Her base attack is pretty good. Her defense is exceptionally low, so you're going to want to build HP on her and just kind of get defensive subs, try and get her up to that 2,000, 2,500 defense. Her speed is mediocre, not going to be a super fast hero, but of course, with some proper gear, you can get her turning out turns pretty well. And she gets the 10% crit damage increase for 6-star Ascension, basic, DPS kind of loadout. Alright, well that does it about her, and I'm also very excited to get her. Now let's go ahead and head on over to the last Amazon Prime hero that we get. Now this is the last one, and it's Vala. I definitely like her loadout, for the barbarian, and her name is kind of reminiscent of Nordic mythology. She's definitely real cool looking. I like her. Be wary. The color scheme is a bit off on my recording here because I am using Nox recorder. It's a little funny that way, but it is. She still looks pretty cool. Now, as far as her kit goes, I would also like to point out she is defense scale, which is always nice. Today's meta, defense scaling heroes is good, especially when you're built like this, because she is kind of a shotgun tank. She's meant to be, attacked and targeted and be sustainful, but at the same time, I have a good inclination that she's going to be a fairly strong hitter. Alright, her A1 is a 2-hit single target that increases damage that she inflicts by 15% if the target is under shield buff. You might see that. I think you possibly might see that in Faction Wars. I'm not sure about the Barbarian Crypt, but mainly that's going to be primarily useful for the arena. Her A2 removes all shield buffs on all enemies, then attacks them all, and has a up to 50% chance of placing the big version of decreased defense on all enemies for 2 turns. Really strong, really effective. Going to be both in dungeons, arena, faction wars, all of that. Definitely excited to see, how hard this hits. And if it does. Her A3 places a shield on herself for 3 turns. And be mindful that once booked, it's down to a 3-turn cooldown, so she can consistently stay under shield as long as it's a big enough shield that it doesn't get depleted. And also places an increased defense buff on herself for 3 turns. And fills her turn meter by 50%. So she's got a little speed there. Hella sustain between the shield and the decreased defense. Back her up with some defense. Give her some decent HP so them shields are big enough. And, she can be a tank. She can be a hell of a tank. Alright, and her passive decreases the damage she received by 15% while under shield. So that makes her A3 even more reliable, even stronger, a good chance that shield's just not going to be depleted. And she's got an arena ally resist by 45, which, kind of supplements her whole kit and the top end meta with the high resist, high defense teams that's out there. As far as her stats go, she's got pretty decent HP. Nothing great for an epic, but still decent. Her attack is garbage, but that don't matter because she's defense scaled. Her defense is strong. I like it. And her speed is pretty good for an epic. Especially since she already fills her turn meter by 50% on one of her skills. That's 3 turn cooldown. And, she just seems like a really effective, what I'm donning, shotgun tank. She comes out, she hits, she can hit hard, and she has some utility as well as plenty heavy sustain for herself. On top of that, she also has the 10% crit damage buff at 6-star Ascension, which kind of does lead me to think that she has the potentiality to be built to hit pretty hard. All single target except for her A2, which, that's the one that's kind of up in the air whether it hits hard or not. But, still I kind of see her being a very, very effective for, anybody trying to push up through the stages in dungeons and arena with the meta like it is now. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with all 3 heroes. None of them are like god tier, absolutely, but all of them are effective and have places in the game. All right, now moving on from that, there is one little piece of advice that piece of news that I don't believe anyone's touched on yet that I would like to kind of highlight a little bit. So let's go ahead and move on over to that. Okay, now here we have something that I am truly excited about, something I've been waiting on for I don't know how long. I'm a leader of a Nightmare clan. I'm a leader of a clan in general. And if you are a leader, then you can definitely sympathize with me with how hard it is to have your clan moderate and manage their damage. Me personally, I don't allow overkills. We have a damage cap that everyone in my clan stays under, so that way everyone in the clan can get max chest. It's something we've all dealt with for a long time, and now I am going to say that this isn't exactly a fix, but it is a step in the right direction. What we have here is a post on Discord posted by Cirilla that is showing us a live action damage counter. Now, like I said, this ain't a complete fix for the whole clan boss system in the game, but this can be pretty effective. Now, what I take over here is just kind of like an action button for the developers, them initiating damage, or maybe it's just some generic ass UI that they hooked up just to kind of show what it's going to look like. But what we have here is as damage goes, it seems like it's going to show the damage total that you've done, as well as the chest that you've, acquired. I think this might be versus easy or something. I don't know. I take it that's where the warrior chest comes from. I think that it's 1.1 mil for that. So I hope they code all that right if they're going to put that in there. Yeah, otherwise it could cause a little issue. But it definitely is something I've been preaching that we needed for months and months and months. To be honest, I wish they would just fix how the clan boss works in general, but this is what they're, showing us, and if they give us this, then I'll be grateful nonetheless. I don't know, it doesn't say anything about when it's going to be initiated. It's just talking about near release, so probably won't get it till January, maybe end of January, February, but it should be in the pipeline. I'm going to give Plarium the benefit of the doubt. They've kind of seemed like, even though they're still money hungry and don't have their head on their shoulders as far as developers are concerned, by my opinion and a lot of other people's opinion in the community, this is definitely something that, us old players, us, experienced players that's been in the game for a while could use, especially leaders. You know what I mean? This is going to be something that is just going to really kind of put glue on the whole clan boss system for now. It's not a complete fix, but it'll hold it together until maybe something gets fixed one day. But so that's about it for the news. There's there's some events to start up and stuff like that, but I'll leave that up for your own, to your own discretion about whether you like it, want to, spend for it, whatever, things like that. But all in all, I'm pretty happy. Well, that's all I'm going to go over today for the news. It definitely caught me by surprise. I was happy. There will be more content like this coming out, as well as some hero guides and a few strategies and comps and stuff that I feel, you know, the community could benefit by me putting out. I've been kind of slacking on my YouTube channel here lately, but I'm about to pick that up. So if you like this content, please like and subscribe, turn your notifications on. You know, it definitely help out the channel with the YouTube algorithm and everything like that. I will also still be streaming, so you can catch me there live on Twitch. I got the link to my Twitch, my Discord, and my Twitter down below. I try to stay fairly active on my, keeping in contact with my community and staying up on social media, as well as, hang out with my viewers and my friends and all that on Twitch. So feel free to come and, say hi, check me out. Until next time, happy grinding, and may the shards break in your favor.